Hey Planner friends, I'm so excited to share the month of September. This was the first month I tried this new system of writing down goals for different domains of my life based on various values. So each domain represents a key value in my life, and then under that, there are goals or intentions that I would like to do to kind of help grow that aspect of my life. This is an extension of the existing framework that already exists in this planner. So in the Sprouted Planner, it has a section for values. In the first half of the year, I set it up differently, but for the second half of the year, I took some inspiration from planners like Moxie Life and Cultivate What Matters that have different sections of your life, and then thinking about how are you going to grow or support that area of your life. And so, like you'll see here, I didn't do that for July or August, but for the month of September, I tried this out and I'm so happy with the results. So let's take a look. So the six domains for me are health and wellness. That's one. That's kind of like well-being, personal growth, all of those things that pertain specifically to me. And then I have family, and then love and relationship, which is like me and my husband, community and friendship. So just one, me being more involved in my community, my local community, like my HOA or like the city board, or just like understanding what's going on more in my community and looking for opportunities to like volunteer and participate in that kind of thing. And friendship. I have friends, but typically on a very surface level, and I'm really working to kind of cultivate those relationships and have deeper relationships with friends. And then creativity and hobbies. I am somebody, if left to my own devices, I will just continue working. And my husband is the same. Thank goodness for my daughter, because she's the one that kind of reminds us that, hey, like you need to have fun, you need to go do things. So this is another one that's been really important to me, is looking for outlets to put time aside for my creative endeavors and like have space for that, because I do think that's really important. So creativity and hobbies is one, and then financial health. So let's go over it. So the number one thing that I noticed in the month of August when I reviewed the month, so what I did do in the month of August is I started to use this color system and take note of the things that occurred that correspond to that domain of life. And I noticed very quickly, I think I only had 3 workouts for the entire month of August. And that is completely different now. I actually need to fill in this week or last week. No, I did this week. I have one more on Saturday. And then I worked out so far Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. Let me finish writing this in here because I didn't wrap that up. So I worked out on Saturday. And I worked out on Monday and Tuesday. But it was so interesting to me to kind of, when I saw that on a monthly basis, I was like, holy smokes, in the whole entire month, I only really worked out 3 times. I didn't mark it in that August calendar, but I know that. And I was like, okay, that definitely needs to change. And so my goal for the month of September was just 2 to 3 workouts per week, which at minimum would have been 8 workouts, and at most 12. And let's see how many I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I averaged 4 workouts a week, which surpassed my goal. That is really exciting to me. And on top of that, all of the workouts in September were morning workouts. If you have followed me for a little while, you may know I am not what I would call a morning person. And so the fact that these not only got accomplished, but got accomplished in the morning is such a major win for me. And I can share like how I transitioned to becoming a morning workout person and how that's going. Really happy to share that. But that was very exciting. And then the next thing under this health and wellness domain was aim for more consistent bedtime before 11:30. This I still need to work on. So I need to create a better system to get to bed early. So I do have an evening routine, but it's flexible. It's not an evening schedule. I can start it at any time and I just follow that sequence of events. And I use an app called Routinary for that. It's fantastic. But what happens to me a lot of the time, it's like, oh, it feels too early to start getting ready for bed. And that will happen around maybe like 8:30. I'm like, oh, it's too early to get ready for bed. But then before I know it, it's like 9:45 and I'm trying to do my nightly routine and like prepare for the following day. And then it ends up just getting way too late. So I'm working on that part. So that still needs work, but it's worth noting. And I should probably find a way to track that. I do have this stamp. This is like a little habit tracker stamp. I really like this one. This is what it looks like here in the previous planner. It might be helpful to maybe put one of those stamps down here and then just take note of how many days I did that. Now, another thing that would, like a note for myself is like, it just says aim for a more consistent bedtime, but I didn't actually give myself a more specific goal. Like how many days do I want to do that? Is that every day? Is that 4 out of 7 days? It would probably be helpful to add like a specific goal there. And then walking, this is supposed to say, I think, on walking pad for 4 times a week for at least 15 minutes. That's another thing that I didn't do as consistently. So we have some options. In this coming month, in October, what I think I'll do is continue this strength training goal, but I'll bump it up to 3 to 4 times a week, or actually 3 to 5 times a week. And then for the consistent bedtime, I'm going to say in bed before 11 p.m. Let's see, at least 4 days out of the week. And then walking on the walking pad. In order to actually make this happen, I think what I'll need to do is go through the planner and actually write it down as an action item, like on my to-dos. Because there have been a few times where I have written it down. Let's see. It's in here somewhere. Maybe. Maybe it was the last one. But I find like if I'm slacking, writing it down and saying, look, you just got to walk on the walking pad for like 15 minutes is really helpful. I know I've written this down before as a task. There you go. Walk on walking pad. Now, it didn't happen this day. Did it happen the following day? Nope. Okay. But I promise it has occurred. Let's see. It's got to be in here somewhere. Okay. Oh, here we go. Walk on walking pad at least 15 minutes. So I might need to actually like manually write that in a few days throughout the week just to make sure, like as a reminder, that I will do it. Oftentimes, if I have an easy to do here, and walking on the walking pad's fairly easy, it gives me more motivation to cross off the list because I love crossing things off the list. So I think that's what I'll do. That's like the system that I will put in place to support and actually complete this goal. So that is what I'll do there. And then for family, we had 2 adventures. The goal is 2 adventures this month, or host 1 meal or game night. So we actually had 2 game nights. We were invited to one and we hosted another. And then we didn't quite host. Did we do an adventure this month? I don't think we had quite an adventure. We did the paint pouring class. That was adorable, but that's more like under the hobbies and creativity section. Okay, so that's one thing I need to be sure to plan this month is an actual adventure or outing, especially now that it's like fall, even though we're in Florida and it doesn't really get all that cold or feel like fall. There's lots of fall festivities. So that'll be important to me this month, is to do at least 1 adventure. And on the game nights, we're good. We actually had another game night on the 27th with my brother. It was kind of an impromptu one, but that was really nice. So, and then we did technically host a meal that night because we had burgers. So we did almost everything here except for the monthly adventure. So that's one thing I'll need to be sure to do. And then date night. We did have a date night. We went out to sushi and that was so cute and so fun. I really liked that. It was just like a random like Tuesday night. And it was just so nice to be able to do that. There we go. Sushi or dinner at Sushi Pop. So that was really nice and fun. And then connect with one friend for a lunch date or walk. Let's see, did I do that one? I did connect with friends. So at the beginning of the month, I took a birthday gift to a former manager, and she is like a friend to me. And then what else did we do? Oh, and then I made a new friend. at game night. And then I invited that friend to this paint pouring class. So she did this class with me and my daughter, which was adorable. So I feel like even though I didn't specifically have a lunch date or walk, I did connect with a friend. And that's kind of the intention behind that one. So I'll say that like that was achieved. And then under creativity, under hobbies, I have finish the embroidery bunny kit, which I actually did. I'll include a photo of what it looks like, but I'm so proud of this. I actually made it. I'm going to give it to my mom for Christmas because I want to give like more handmade things this year. And I was so excited to get that done. And I know for a fact that if I had just written this down, or if I had just ordered that kit and not written this down and made it an intention to actually complete it, and I think I actually put steps in here to like open the box and get it started, because sometimes like you can want to do something, but you need to have those baby steps to actually get you to do the thing. And so I think on one of these days I was like, just work on embroidery kit. I didn't do that day, but do we have it here somewhere? But yeah, I was like, okay, maybe I didn't write it down, but I told myself, okay, at the very least, all you need to do is open the kit. Just open the kit and read the instructions. And then the next thing was like, open the kit, read the instructions, and just do like 10 minutes of the first task. And that helped me get over the inertia of getting started, because I think sometimes we think, oh, it's going to be so complicated. I really need like this long stretch of time to really sit with it. But really, sometimes you just need that initial push to get started. And so if you're struggling with tasks and it feels like insurmountable for some reason, break it down and figure out like, what is the smallest thing you can do that will at least move you in the right direction. Like, you don't have to complete it all right away, but like, what is the thing that will actually get you started? And usually getting started is half the battle. And I was so proud to get that done this month. That made me really, really happy. So that was great. And then that's like a new skill, right? A new skill that I'm working on. And then financial health, set updated budget. So we were kind of hit with a doozy in the month of September. So we've used a budgeting app called Cube. It has been phenomenal. It is essentially like a digital envelope system for budgeting, and I adore it. Like it was game changing for us. But unfortunately, there were some issues with like the bank that sponsors them, and they were like, hey, essentially like we're temporarily shutting down this app as you know it. We're going to have something else that's not going to be quite the same, but like you need to take all of your money out by the end of the month. So this month for finances was really about finding an alternative, which we found an excellent alternative. We're now using an app called Envelope, and that seems to be working really well. It's very similar in functionality, really sleek, and they have a really great software development team. So really, really excited to use that. But that is what our budgeting consisted mostly of. So it was a little bit chaotic this month in getting everything transitioned over. But we are good there. And then we have a project that we're budgeting for to do. One, we want to do some home decor. That we haven't budgeted for, but we do want to do this laundry room and like living room shelving project. So that has been quoted, budgeted, and then we're probably going to start on that next month. So that's exciting. So I'm going to give us like a check mark there. Now, I'm not sure how I want to indicate that like these are done or that they were accomplished. I'll probably have to think of a way to do that. I don't know if I want to get like a cutesy little A+ stamp or something, or like a check mark. I don't know. But I want to do something to indicate like that I did well, that I did something there. So maybe like a little heart for the things. That's what I'll do. I love my little heart motif. There we go. And then anything without a heart, I guess maybe we'll do an arrow. Let's try that out. That should work, although maybe in a different color so it stands out just a bit more, because that kind of blends just a little bit. I mean, I can tell, but I like things to visually pop a little bit more. Okay, very good. So really, really excited about how this is going. Definitely I'm going to recreate it in October. Now for like this section of the dashboard, of the monthly dashboard, I tend to use for things that I have in mind or would like to do for the upcoming month. find the HOA meeting schedule. I did that. Complete the Clever Poppy Bunny embroidery kit. I did that. And the Orlando Air Show, it's actually the month of October, but I'll need to get tickets for that. I didn't get tickets for that just yet. When I asked my family, they weren't like super interested, so we'll see. And plus we can see it from where we are. But anyways, I digress. Under books, I tried to read this book again, but I don't know, it's a little boring for me. And I think I tried to read it last month too. And I think I'm just going to call it and pick a different book for the month. So yeah. And then under this section, I was thinking this will be like where I track things that I would like to purchase. Not everything I purchased, because I have a pretty good system for keeping track of that, but just like things that are on my mind to purchase so I can kind of budget for them accordingly from my like personal budget. So let's see. I did actually end up getting this stand for my headphones. I did not do the head spa. I really, really want to go to the head spa. I don't know if you've heard of those, but they like, it's like a spa for like your scalp, and they have this like camera and they like get really up in your scalp and they show you like what the actual skin of your scalp looks like and the health of it, and they give you this like amazing massage. It's supposed to be really amazing and I really want to go, but that's gonna have to wait till next month. I did order my 2026 planner. And so those were like the key things. One other thing I want to purchase more of is nail polish, because I don't know, it's nice to have polished nails, and there's a specific one that I want to purchase. So I'll probably put that for October. And that's pretty much it for this section. I know it's kind of plain Jane, but I think that's okay. All right, moving along. So we did pretty much everything, although the only thing I don't have on here is green, I think, and pink. So I didn't put down our date night. I think our date night was on the 23rd. Yep, 23rd. So we'll make that pink for date night. And again, the purpose of putting it on this calendar is so like at a glance I can quickly see where I'm investing my time. Fantastic. Beautiful. The only thing that's not on here is finance, I believe. We have all the other colors represented. And then we also did another game night on this day, so I'll include that too. I know last time I was talking about getting a stamp for workouts so that I can maybe track them more attractively here. I did order that. So we'll see how that looks when it comes in. And I'm not even sure a sticker is going to fit there, but let's see. I think it might be too crowded. We're going to pile it on. Maybe not. We'll do it this way. There we go. That works. As you can see, I'm not very much about perfection or having something like beautiful, like an amazing aesthetic. I like it to be cute. I like it to be attractive, adorable, but it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, very good. So I would say this is a great month. The only other thing I would like to see more of is maybe one more date night would like even this out. And then that, and what else? Finance. I need to have like not a full day, but like at least a finance meeting. We did this thing at the beginning of January of this year where my husband and I like sat down. We actually had like a full finance review of the past couple of years. And it was actually really helpful. And I would like to do more of those. Like, even if it's just like one afternoon, go out to lunch or something, and then just review all the finances and stuff like that. It's very helpful. All right, so that's the month at a glance. I don't really use these sections very much. Probably should find a way to do it, or find a way to utilize them. But yeah. All right, moving right along. So I'll just do a quick flip through of the month. And I shared a flip through too in my shorts. This is a really tough month. Work's been a little challenging. It's very different, and I find myself having difficulty adjusting to all of the changes. I've been kind of slow to change, which is, I don't want to say that's not like me because I really don't like change, to be honest. But yeah. All right, and then so this week so far was a really strong week so far with exercise. We did Monday, Tuesday, and I'm so happy. I've been doing this pretty much on my own in the mornings, but my husband recently started going with me, which is fantastic. All right, so nothing major this week so far. And that's it for September. All right, time to set up. Oh, I gotta do my reflection. All right, let me take a second and do my reflections. Okay, we are back. So I completed the reflection section of the intention, the reflection section of the September planner. And then now I'm going to set up October with a similar setup that I did here. So I'm going to highlight the different sections, write out the domains, and then kind of the goals that I want to ladder up, like the things I want to do to support that area of my life. So let's get into it. So first we have health and well-being. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. I think that's right. We're going to find out. We'll see. Yeah. So yeah, this worked out really well. As part of my 2026 planner stack, because Sprouted Planner will be removing the intention section from the planner. Like this year they decided to put it in a separate little booklet. I was pretty sad about it. Some people are really happy. Like I know I am in the minority. Like it is okay if you were happy about it. Like that is, the majority of people are happy about it. I just happen to be one of those people that really loved having it in the planner, which is fine. That's okay. I just, because of that, I'm considering, well, I didn't consider, I ordered some other notebooks. Like I purchased some from like Cultivate What Matters. I purchased some from, oh, I did these different spacing. That's okay. Well, I can fix that now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So I got one from Cultivate What Matters. And I got one from like the actual Moxie Life ones. And I'm just going to see like what they have, because I'm curious like how those two set up their intention and reflection pages. And maybe there's some additional stuff that I can add to it. So we'll see. I'm excited about that. So I'll probably have another video just going over those, what they look like, what they're like. Curious if you guys have used any of those. The way that I found Cultivate What Matters is I kept hearing people talk about a tending list in their videos, and it's like what they're tending to in their life. And I love that idea. And I love the concept of literally cultivating what matters, like growing and paying attention to and working on strengthening those areas of your life. And so I love that concept. So I ordered some of those items. I listened to one of the podcast episodes and noticed like it seems to have like religious background or religious founding, which is fine with me. Like I'm not overly religious, but I thought that was interesting. But yeah, it'll be cool to kind of see like what's in that planner. But I love the concept of like cultivating what matters. I think that's so lovely. All right, so we have health and wellness as our first domain. Family. Love and relationship. And I think several, like between Moxie Life and Cultivate What Matters, a lot of these like overlap. The colors might be different, and there might be some differences, but I think overall the core domains are there. And I'm not really looking to change these domains because I like them. Maybe there's some more ideas that I can draw inspiration from, but I'm happy with these. What I would like is maybe an opportunity to do some weekly reflection and maybe just adding in more questions to really help me kind of just assess how things are going. Perfect. Brilliant. Okay, so that's that. And now what we're carrying over, let's go over it. So 3 to 4 workouts per week at the gym. Okay, and then bedtime before 11 p.m. 4 out of 7 nights per week. And then walk on walking pad. 15 minutes, at least 15 minutes on the weekdays. So like I said, I'm probably going to go through my planner and actually write that in Monday, Wednesday, like Monday through Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, to make sure that gets in. And then for family adventure, and then yeah, let's do 2 family adventures. I'll just write it again. Because we're going to be having brunch at my mom's. So I don't know if we want to host another meal. And then I would say plan one seasonal party. Plan a seasonal party. So maybe like a cutesy little Halloween party, maybe just like decorating pumpkins or like doing some kind of cute spooky craft. I think that would be cute. All right, and then in love and relationships, another date night. Let's do 2 date nights. Dinner date night. And then maybe like some other date night, but maybe something like creative. Arts, play, something creative. Oh yeah, there's this local play that I think you will actually like. All right, community and friendships. So this month I think is the next HOA meeting, so attend HOA or city commission meeting. Connect with a friend. Perfect. And creativity and hobbies. What do we want to do for that? I've already completed that embroidery kit. Maybe get another embroidery kit. Oh, I know. So I have this, like, I like to draw these little characters. They're called chibis. They're like adorable little creatures. But I was thinking of drawing one and then also embroidering one. So I'm going to put that. Embroider or draw a chibi. I'll have to show you a picture. It looks so cute. And then for finance health, I gotta finish October budget. No, that's not how you spell finish. Finish October budget. And there was something else. Review finances with Zach. Brilliant. All right. Well, that's that. Excited about it. I might even add some things later, but at the very least, we have that. Oh, this is actually a pretty big family adventure. not the entire family, but my daughter and I are going up to see family, and we're gonna go to the Stevie Nicks concert, so that's pretty cool. I don't have anything else here. Like I mentioned, I want to get more nail polish, so I'm gonna put that up here. I forget what that brand is called. It's this one, Kappa Nui. I like it because it dries extremely fast, because I can never sit still to let nail polish dry. Oh my gosh, I always mess it up. But this one dries nearly immediately, and it's like non-toxic and a bunch of other good stuff. So I would like to spend some money on that. I need to do another jet pens order. And other than that, there's nothing that I can immediately think of. Oh, yeah, that's more like care and maintenance, but not like an actual purchase. Okay, and then for books, I want to reread. I'm actually physically going to start reading Inner Excellence again. This one, I'm just taking my time. It is such a great book. I highly, highly recommend. I'm not going to finish it this month because like I said, I'm reading it nice and slow. I'm taking my time. I'm taking notes, and I'm okay with that. But I want to like put that back on my radar to read. And then I think I'm going to read Free to Focus again. Free to Focus or Make Time. One of those books. I think I'm going to do Free to Focus. I had read a bunch of books on like time management, and there were quite a few really good ones. Make Time was another one, but I'm going to read this one. I think I'm going to reread that one. All right, and that is my setup for October now. I know, my October month looks sad so far. I don't have any cutesy Halloween stickers. I just ordered some. I think I have like maybe some scragglers from years before. I think this is literally like the only Halloween sticker sheet I have. I have like these, but that's pretty much it. So I'm going to wait to see what comes with the sticker kit that I ordered. And hold off on decorating it just yet. And again, I don't do too much decoration. I like a cutesy little sticker, some washi tape here and there, but I don't go too crazy. And then we're here. We're on Tuesday. So I need to write in my quote for the day. I need to get my day going. Did I write a quote for yesterday? Yes, I did. And see, like, it's okay. Like, some days are going to look like this, where there weren't a lot of necessarily work to do's, or if there were, I didn't track them here, and that's okay. That's all right. I think today's going to be probably a heavier note day, but yes, that is the September wrap up and setting up October, and I am so excited. I will see you in the weekly reviews. See ya. Bye.